3, 2. The following radio program you're about to listen to is provided to you, the listener, by Inked Geek Studios. Get this and other great shows at inkedgeekstudios.com. I forget where we came in here. Hey everybody, what is up? We are fucking back.
Fucking back.
It has been since
back in town.
It has been since May. There is a lot to catch up on. I am joined, as always, with a giant fucking asterisk, Brandon. Brandon,
As always, kind of. Hey,
remotely. I know this is new for us. How have you been, man? I mean, we've chatted a little bit, but once the biking stopped, once summer trailed off, I think it was like once WoW came out, right?
It seems like once WoW came out, yeah, that really. I don't know, for whatever reason. I don't know if adulthood has really set in all of a sudden or what, but I'm like fucking super busy all the time. And my days off just go by and I don't even see what happened.
Well, that's not good.
I mean, I've aged again since last we connected, and
Yeah.
I don't even know. Am I 34, 35, 33? I'm not really sure.
The throwbacks are real.
Seriously. I don't even know what we're going to do for a show. Like,
I
we
have
have literally 8 months of shit.
I have some things to talk about. I mean, we've got, we can do a summer in review show.
Stanley died. Spoilers.
Yeah, Stanley died.
You died yesterday. Spoilers.
Was that yesterday or today?
Yesterday.
Yeah, was it yesterday? Yeah. But no, so really quick catch up, right? So for those of you that are new, welcome. First off, let's start there because this show is coming in on a brand new RSS feed. So if you are checking us out for the first time, thank you and welcome, and we hope you stick around. For those of you that have been with us from the beginning or somewhere in between, so shit has changed. We kind of disappeared for a while. We had a pregnancy term almost. I mean, that was kind of, did one of us get pregnant?
A lot of extra weight to lose now.
So so things are going to change. We'll make it really quick because again, I don't want to mess up the whole beginning of the show for any potential new listeners. But for those that are familiar, we had That Was Awesome, which was our wrestling show. We had Mind of a Geek, which was our interview show. We had the Sincast temporarily for a little while, which was our venting show. And then we had All Geek'd Up. And then prior to All Geek'd Up, we had Sonics and Sabers. So, and then there was Movie Busters in there. And like, there was a lot of shit. And it got really busy. And then separating from the shows that aren't just Brandon and I, we had me, Brandon, and Corey for STFU, and then myself and Amy Frost for Indie Case Files. IG Studios got really, really big, and it got to the point that it was a lot, and it just became overwhelming. And then summer came, and I lost like 65 pounds, and then I gained like 30 pounds. So yeah, I mean, just, life hits.
It's been since I've seen you. When I last saw you, you were a skull with a body attached.
Yeah, now I'm back up to like
now you look more like you again.
Yeah, I'm back up to like 220. It happens, man. I mean, you know what?
How far did you go? 190?
I was 187.
Damn.
Yeah.
My dick is 187.
But no, you know what, man? I enjoyed it and it was fun, but I'm not a gym rat and I'll never be a gym rat. And I gave up way too much of things that I loved just to be thin.
Well, yeah, but the thing about you is you have like fanatical indifference when you have your mindset on something, which is good to a point. But sooner or later, you're going to crash and burn.
Yeah, and it was going well. And then Battle for Azeroth came out, which we can certainly talk about. And then my ex, the mother of my 3 kids, got a new job and she's working overnights. So that makes it very difficult to, get out of work and go to the gym. So it just, everything happened. And you know what? Whatever. I'm snacking. I'm drinking beer, playing video games again. It's a great time for it because we are in a tremendous holiday season for video games. Uh, but yeah, let's. I mean, we can kind of start up with a summer recap and talk about kind of what we did because we did a lot of biking towards the beginning of the summer.
I have gone bike crazy. So before we do that, quick aside about video games
Sure.
to pull the curtain back. EA Access. When you got Battlefield 5, did you have to pay for it?
No.
Or
No,
did you just get a discount?
you're. Are you talking PC or Xbox?
Xbox.
You would have to pay for it on Xbox.
So
So
but you get a discount with EA Access, right?
10% off.
And what about Origin?
Or now on PC they have Origin Access, which is the same thing. It's $5 a month or like 25 for the year. There's also Origin Access Premier, which is 15 a month or 100 for the year. Now, there are several companies out right now that are doing the games as a service, a la what Netflix and Hulu and Amazon do for movies. And you've got Xbox Game Pass, which is a great deal for $10 a month, which gives you a whole bunch of games as well as all of the exclusives. So like when Crackdown comes out on March, I think, or February, Forza Horizon 4 that just came out, Sea of Thieves, all the State of Decay 2, all the Microsoft exclusive titles are free with Game Pass. However, they are the base editions. They are your base entry-level $60 versions of the game or whatever the base cost is, right? So like with Forza, you don't get all the DLC. Crackdown, you probably won't get if there's any DLC. And that's $10 a month. So with Origin Access Premier, which as much shit as EA gets, I feel like Origin Access Premier is the biggest bang for your buck when it comes to games as a services. Again, it's $15 a month or 100 for the year. So obviously 100 for the year breaks down to less than $10 a month. It's like 8 and change or so, 9 and change. And you get a whole back catalog of EA titles, which has some incredible titles in it. You get the Mass Effect trilogy, as well as that pile of shit that Andromeda was.
Yeah.
You get the
I hear
drag.
big news coming down the pike for Mass Effect here.
You get for Mass Effect.
Yeah, like right off.
Oh, I haven't heard anything about Mass Effect. But anyway, so you get all the Dragon Age, you get all the old Need for Speed games, you get all the Command and Conquer titles, you get all the Ultima titles. Like there's this huge back catalog, right? But then you also get every EA game that is released on PC. And that's why it's such a good deal, right? So Premiere launched in August with Madden 19. And they basically gave you an option. You can buy the Hall of Fame edition of Madden for $100, or you can buy a year of Origin Premiere for $100. And then not only do you get the Hall of Fame edition of Madden, but you also get the digital deluxe edition of Battlefield 5. You also get that game where the brothers escape prison together for free.
Yep.
You get all of these other games. And the big seller is within that same year, because it's a calendar year, so it's 365 days. It doesn't just end when 2019 starts. You get Anthem with all the DLC. And that is why I say that Origin Premier is the best value, because it's a little bit more expensive than Game Pass. And actually, it's cheaper, again, if you do the year. I don't think Game Pass has a pay for the year option. I could be wrong. But even at $15 a month, Madden, Battlefield 5, and Anthem Deluxe Edition alone, that's $300 worth of games. Now, you don't own them. It's a subscription service. You cancel your subscription, you lose your access to the games. But again, if you pay for a year up front, by the time that year cycles over, like let's say you're not a sports guy. I know you're not a sports guy. So let's say you got Origin Premiere with Battlefield, paid the $100 instead of paying $100 for Battlefield. You get all the DLC for Battlefield, all the DLC for Anthem. And by the time that 1 year subscription is up, the new Battlefield's going to be out. So at that point, you can decide if it's worth re-upping or not. EA has enough annual titles to where it makes it worth that $100 a year, every year. Now, if you aren't an EA fan, if you don't like Battlefield, if you don't care about Anthem, or you don't know if you're going to care about Anthem, it may not be your thing. Huh?
I'm going to care about Anthem.
I'm hoping I'm going to care about Anthem, but considering what BioWare did to Andromeda, I'm reserving my excitement because I don't want to let myself down.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Makes sense to me.
Awesome. Hugo in the chat room. Welcome, sir. Thanks for coming to hang out for our re-inaugural. We have been reborn. We
Happy
are
birthday, Hugo.
we are
Late. I already said it once to you, but happy birthday again
we are born
on the air.
we are born again podcasters. Oh yes, happy
Born-
birthday. Happy birthday, Huge Nuts. That's what I call him when he hops in my game streaming.
Huge nuts.
Huge Nuts.
I am huge nuts. I don't know.
Uh,
He's getting older. He just had a birthday. Now he's long nuts. You got
um,
long balls. I got long balls.
but yeah, so did that answer what you had asked about Origin? Was that the long rope-a-dope answer?
Yeah, I logged into Origin. I have Origin access, so I was just looking at Premiere to see what I got. Now, the only thing I need clarification on, because I was sending you a link when you said it, with all the DLC, was that with whatever Origin
That,
access Premiere, you had to pay the $100 up front to get all of it.
no, you can do the $15 a month. Premiere is
Yeah.
Premiere. You get all the DLC.
Regardless of how you pay.
Yeah.
I just wanted to see what extra was included.
Yeah, you essentially get the digital deluxe edition of every game, which for EA titles typically retails at about $100.
A Way Out was the brothers escaping.
Thank
by
you.
the way.
Yes. Yeah, I really want to play that.
Yeah, it should be cool. I mean, the game is geared for multiplayer, 2-player.
Yeah, it's a co-op game, so it's supposedly a puzzle game. Like it's pretty short, so it's one of those ones where I don't want to buy it for $30.
Right.
But again, as part of that package deal. And as much as people gave shit to the newest Need for Speed, it certainly wasn't perfect. And with Forza Horizon 4 out, I would say if you're going to play an open world racer, play Forza. But again, if you have Premiere, the newest Need for Speed is a pretty fun game. It's a very Fast and the Furious-esque game. They even have a mission where you're racing 18-wheelers. But yeah. So again, catch up, summer. I mean, now that it's almost Christmas, right? So, like I said, I mean, we biked a lot, and we talked several times about.
I went bike crazy toward the end of the summer. I bought a Santa Cruz Bronson, thinking that we were going to keep on biking. Then we stopped biking. Well, I didn't stop biking. I still bike all the time. I don't even care about the snow. But
Right.
so that was a $4,500 bike, and then 2 months later, I bought a $2,500 bike. Now I have like 10 grand of bikes, 10 grand worth of bikes sitting in my shed. No one knows where I live. Thank God. Don't steal my bikes.
Don't steal his bikes. Yeah, no, I was loving the biking. I mean, we'll see what summer brings, or at least spring for next year. I don't want to pack all the weight back on, but I don't know. It's tough, man, with kids and holidays and.
I wouldn't even worry about that. Just a matter of, if you bike with me, you're not going to put all the weight back on, and you're also not going to be rail thin. You'll be fit.
Right. I wasn't
Especially-
that thin.
You're pretty thin. You're still pretty thin. I mean, I can only see you tits up, but you still look pretty thin. Nice. If I was only there. Oh, I know how Corey feels. It's terrible. Once summer hits, spring at the very least, and we start doing, I don't know, the green belt or whatever, and hit 20,
Right.
30 miles like we were doing.
Yeah, no, that was a ton of fun.
I don't know if you're still up for that, but I am.
I mean, it didn't take me that long to get to that.
No,
At
I mean, a month and a half, and I was having trouble keeping up with you. So
Right. Yeah, I slim quick. I've always slimmed quick. I just need to stick to it because where I slim quick, I also pack it back on quick. But no, but heading into, but you know what? It's whatever. I was gonna hate myself either way. I was either gonna be upset that I put the weight back on, or I was gonna be upset that I was in such good shape that I had and going to the gym all the time that I had no time to game. And as I mentioned kind of at the top of the show, we are in an incredible holiday season this season for video games. There's so many fucking titles that came out. I picked up titles that I was planning on getting. I picked up titles that I wasn't planning on getting. There's just been so much good shit. Followed by another giant release tomorrow, which is the last one of the season. And I'm getting it just cause.
yeah, I can't wait for that.
It looks so fucking good.
didn't even realize it was coming out so soon. I just saw that earlier
Yeah,
today, and I was like, "Holy fuck!"
the
Because I just started playing the previous one recently
oh yeah,
again, and
and this,
yeah, no,
from
I'm
what I've
pumped.
heard from streamers and testers who got early copies, this fixes everything that was wrong with 3.
Really,
The
nice.
driving is nice and smooth. The aiming feels really smooth. The world is larger but also denser, so it's not like it's just spans and spans of open space. There's a lot to it. Fixed a lot of the frame rate issues that was on console. Yeah, and I am pumped. Did they add fun to it, dude? It is. Don't even start with me, Derek. Just Cause, dude. It's all about grappling a cow to an oil tanker and then putting your rockets on that oil tanker and launching them into the sky. It is an open world sandbox game where you can fucking blow everything up.
Mm-hmm. It's fun. I mean, you have to be in the right mindset.
You do. You do.
It's like modern day Mercenaries, which the 16th for games with gold, you're getting the original Mercenaries from Xbox, which
Yep.
I will play, and then I will say, "Fuck this! I'm gonna play Just Cause instead."
But they've added a lot to it now. It's got interactive environments. You're going to be able to surf tornadoes. There's four
Really?
of yeah, oh yeah. There's 4 or 5 different biomes. It's going to be massive open world madness. I have tried to stay as much away from any of the video content as I can because I want to just get in there and be giddy and just blow shit up.
Mm-hmm.
So it is the reason that most games that are open world have some sort of grapple system now. Because now, if you have an open world game without a grappling hook, you're going to go play Just Cause because it's
Mm-hmm.
awesome. Assassin's Creed doesn't really need one because you can climb everything. But
Still need a game where I have powers that, like, a la Prototype, but not Prototype, where I can just go through the world. I
like
can. I guess I'm gonna get
I was
Crackdown. The
going to
new
say,
Crackdown.
Crackdown. Yeah, that's. I was waiting
Yeah.
for you to finish. I was like, Crackdown 3.
Yeah, let me just think that thought through to completion. So last weekend I went and saw Overlord, which if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend. It's Saving Private Ryan meets From Dusk Till Dawn. It's fucking awesome. It's intense. There's enough gore, there's enough like suspense to really keep you going in that movie. But that movie made me really want to play Battlefield 5 and have some first person World War II action, which previous to that I had no interest in that game. I still haven't played it. You have. Is it good?
So
Is it worth me getting Origin Access and playing Premiere?
I would say pay $15. It's worth it. It's worth $15 to play it for a month by far. Uh, here's my thought, right? So I am getting a little burnt out on shooters. It's
I've been burnt out on shooters, and it's funny, like I'm getting old, right?
right,
So
aren't
I
we all?
grab a shooter, right? But like, okay, I played a shooter today. Wait for it, I played Battlefield Bad Company 2 because I'm old and I'm stuck in the past. And apparently a lot of other people are too because I had no maps that weren't full.
Oh no, people love Bad
Every
Company. They're begging
played.
for a Bad Company 3.
Yeah, I wish they would make one.
I'm sure it's at
So
some point.
outside of FPS, like outside of that game, I don't really play any other shooters. But I will play Battlefield 5. But you're burnt out on shooters. Why is that?
I don't know. It's. I think I need more. I don't know. So
You
anyone
need
that
more, but you need different, right?
yeah, so anyone that knows me knows I get uh, single player games can get a little long in the tooth for me, right? Like I'm playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey right now. I played Assassin's Creed Origins last year. They are both phenomenal games, and I highly recommend both.
I
Uh,
played Odyssey until you become the other guy. Like I played through the Battle of the 300, and then I got to the point where you brawl with those guys coming to collect whatever they're trying to collect
okay,
from
yep.
you, and that's all I played.
Okay. Yeah, so it is a ton of fun, and the combat is really fun. It's really fluid. I ended up going with Cassandra, so you said the other guy, so I assume you went with Alexios.
I went
Uh,
with the dude. Yep.
yeah, so, and it tells a great story. The voice acting is spot on. The historical places are great. It's so much fun, and I'm really enjoying it. But I like the online element, right? So I played the Red Dead Online beta up to this point. It is a little bare bones, but it's really fun, right? And I'll get around to your question. But it's really fun. And a lot of people are whining and complaining because, I don't know, everyone wants everything easy now. And everyone's complaining about the financial system or the economy in Red Dead Online. And it has room for improvement, for sure. But it is not as flawed as people are leaving you to believe, right? Because you earn money like it's $18.99, but things are priced like it's 2018. So it's because things are expensive. And that is what everybody's saying, right? Because they have to have some
party like it's 1999.
right. They have to have some level of progress to earn through. Otherwise, everyone's going to have everything, and it's just no fun. So things are overpriced to a point, but the ability to make the money is there because you can go hunting, you can skin and sell those things. You can go out and do different missions that earn you an okay amount of money, or you can just kill people and get money from them, and it's an okay amount of money. But right now, the most lucrative is hunting. And while I find fun in hunting and fishing, I understand that not everybody's going to, right? So you go and you hunt, and certain animals, just like single player, certain animals need to be killed with certain weapons for the pelts to come out perfect, which is where you get the most money. So I'm really enjoying that. And I'm really starting to like and enjoy that element in my multiplayer games, where it's multiplayer, there's some competition, we're killing each other, but there's more to the game. So I picked up Call of Duty Black Ops 4 when it dropped in September. Yeah, so it came out in September because they tried to space themselves away from the Red Dead launch. So I picked up Black Ops 4. Black Ops 4 is the best that Call of Duty has been in a while. Oh, you got one of those. Nice.
This mic that I have, it came with it. I just noticed like all I can hear is my fucking nose. So
cool. So Black Ops 4 is incredibly fun. Treyarch always nails it out of the park with Black Ops. I played it quite a bit for a couple weeks. Was having a lot of fun. Blackout, which is the Call of Duty Battle Royale mode, is the best Battle Royale experience for your buck right now. Obviously, Fortnite is free, and it adds a different element to the game. But I feel like Call of Duty has done it best. It's stable, it's solid. There's no building. It's basically
dude, it's so much smoother with COD doing it. It's amazing.
It is. It's incredibly fun. That being said, it's just, I don't know, I got burnt out. And then Battlefield 5 dropped, right? And because of Premiere, I got the Digital Deluxe Edition, and because of the Digital Deluxe Edition, I had access to it on November 9th. And it was incredibly fun. You get in, they're giant maps. They are it's a PR40. We're both rocking them.
I have to take the mic off to put it on, and I'm not gonna fuck with it right now.
Yeah, cool. But anyway, so it's a lot of fun, right? Like there's a game mode, which is probably my favorite game mode in Battlefield 5, where there are 5 points, and Team A has 1 and 2, Team B has 4 and 5, and then 3 is neutral. And you have to fight to cap 3. And then whoever caps 3, you push into your opponent's territory more and try and cap 2. And then you cap 2, push into cap 1. Once you've capped all 5, the opposing team has 3 different locations that need to be bombed. You have so much time or so many lives to bomb those 3 locations. If you fail, let's say you push 2 and 1. If they fail, 1 becomes neutral again. So before you get a chance to bomb again, you have to recapture 1. But they also have a chance to capture 1 and push you back and then, change the attack pattern. That is incredibly fun. And I was in one match that lasted about 45 minutes.
So it's essentially like Conquest and Battlefield.
Kinda
Capture
only you can push back, because Conquest you couldn't push back, right?
Rush, you can't push back. Conquest, you can. Conquest is a matter of like 4 or 5 points that you capture, but then you can take it back. You have to set bombs or whatever to blow it up, like you would in Rush, but you can disarm them in Conquest.
Okay.
So essentially, you're capturing points on the map. There's, like Rush, you'll have 2 here, 2 here, 2 here, but in Conquest, you're just running back and forth.
That makes sense. No, but yeah, to answer your question, 5 is incredibly fun. And if you end up getting Premiere, I will most certainly get on there and run it with you. But to go back to the whole being burnt out of shooters, I don't know, man.
Corey, yeah, sorry, Corey. I have 2 PR40s. If you would like me to send you one, that'll be $300 plus shipping and handling.
Anyway, yeah. So I don't know. I think I need more. Like if I'm on there with friends, I'm on there having fun. But if I'm going to play single player, I need to. I need more. That's why I like Red Dead. Like I want the online multiplayer, quote unquote PvP experience with the RPG-ish elements that are in Red Dead Online or something like that.
I've yet to play Red Dead Online. I think I'm going to do that once we're done here.
Have you even played Red Dead?
Yeah.
I would think that would be your game. Like I would think that you'd be like living in that game right now. I was amazed when I saw you on Assassin's Creed and not Red Dead.
I know. I'm afraid to really dive into that game because I think it's going to suck me in. But I also have to be in the right mindset for that game. Like, I don't know. Right now, I'm kind of in a, like earlier in the year, I was in a fantasy kind of place, sci-fi. I don't know. I don't even know where I'm at right now, man. Sometimes it's sci-fi, sometimes it's fantasy, sometimes it's the old west. I'm in a mountain biking place right now where I want to go mountain bike. And fuck me, it's wintertime. And it's November and the snow is just crazy already.
It's December.
And I've got, December now. December 1. I've got cabin fever already, though. I just want to go outside. I'm not ready to be in here for fucking 6 months. But I should give in to that.
You don't have to be, though. You've got your fat bike, right?
Yeah, and I've been using it every day. But at the same time, it's fucking cold out.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, I think today was the first day I wore jeans in the winter season. It's been cargo shorts. Because where I work is warm, so...
No, that's true. If I was working where you worked, I'd definitely have shorts on.
Yeah.
I get hot really fast. But...
So speaking of work, right? So I'm working in the office 5 days a week now, which is probably adding to the weight gain.
Question. Have we been on here since you really started in with the Switch heavy?
No, not really.
All right, go.
So on top of all the other releases that we've covered so far, we got Diablo 3 that came out on the Switch, and oh my god, is it incredibly stupid fun. It's so great to have that game on the go. Because that's where I've played it most. I've put more hours into this current season than I have put into a season in Diablo in a long time. I'm almost
play it now. So
what's that?
So basically, you're getting paid to play at this point.
Well, yeah. So. But I'm almost Paragon 1000.
Fuck, I didn't know that even existed.
Oh yeah, you can go. There's no limit to Paragon. It just takes longer and longer. I'm almost Paragon 1000. My Demon Hunter is easily farming Greater Rift level 90. And I have a Necromancer that is just hit 70 today, actually, and is already around Greater Rift 30. So, but the Necromancer Corpse Lance build is so much fun. But anyway, so there's that, right? And then add that to the fact that for those that care, Pokemon Let's Go came out on the Switch, which is the first legitimate Pokemon game that we've got on the Switch. And you know what? It's a lot of fun.
Isn't that game a repackaging of an older game?
Yes and no. So it is essentially Pokemon Yellow, which is essentially Pokemon Red and Blue, but with Pikachu. So
that's all great. Oh, I finally saw the trailer for that Detective Pikachu movie that you were talking about the last time we podcasted. Saw it like a week ago. Looks funny as shit. We should
Oh,
go.
yeah. No, hold on. We'll get there. Um, so essentially, Pokemon Let's Go is a Pokemon game. You walk around. It has the RPG elements, but there is no more wild Pokemon battling, which you have in a typical Pokemon game. Now, when you capture a wild Pokemon, you essentially go into Pokemon Go, where you see the Pokemon on your screen, there is a circle around it, and you have to time and aim the throw of your Pokeball. So they've taken the gameplay of Pokemon and the Pokemon capturing of Pokemon Go and merged them into a game. It's fun. I don't go crazy with it like some people have. My God, the Twitch streamers are nuts for Pokemon. Like Spatula, a friend of mine who's part of the witty and sophisticated stream team, is has basically been all about Pokemon since it came out, and he is put countless hours in trying to get silver versions or shiny versions of all the Pokemon, and to the point where like, what was he doing? It wasn't Snorlax. It was Sparrow, maybe, I don't know, one of them. But he caught or Spearow. He caught like 500 of them in a row, because the more of them that you catch in a row, the longer chain you get, the higher chance you have for getting a shiny. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, so he goes super fucking crazy with it. And there is a lot of depth to end game Pokemon that people who don't play it don't realize is there. I didn't realize it was there. And it's awesome, and they've included that in this. Supposedly, we are getting a full-fledged, legitimate Pokemon release on the Switch next year. Last little, so other than that, right? I've been doing other things on the Switch. Darkest Dungeon, which was a game that I picked up on PC years ago when it came out, I got on the Switch. Again, incredibly fun to play that game mobile. It really fits that there. Dead Cells, which is an awesome roguelike, is incredibly fun on the Switch. And then, now I haven't got this yet. I'm probably not going to get it. In fact, I can probably say with certainty I'm not getting it. But just yesterday, Ark Survival Evolved released on the Switch.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So considering that game barely plays well on the Xbox One X, I'm wondering what they sacrificed to put it on the Switch.
Mm.
But for
It's cell shaded.
yeah, right. But if open world survival is your thing and you want to tame dinosaurs, and like, if you don't know what Ark is, you've been sleeping under a rock, because it is probably the most popular survival game right now. And it's fun. It's just when it comes to Ark can be the only game you play.
Yeah.
Because if you aren't putting 8 to 12 hours a day into it, someone's going to come kill your dinosaurs. Your dinosaurs are going to die. If you don't log on for 3 or 4 days, your dinosaurs will have starved to death, and you've got to start like,
Not the crux of the game is you literally have to be there to protect your territory and your
correct.
dinosaur.
Correct.
That's
Yeah, it is every element of a survival game that people who play survival games want.
yeah. So you
Uh,
have to worry about it all the time.
right. It's kind of like, you know what it is? It's like the old Tamagotchis. But instead
Yeah.
of Tamagotchis, they're 3D rendered dinosaurs.
Well, that might lend itself to being mobile then. Maybe the game can notify you at any point. Oh, I got to jump into the game. Fuck.
Your raptor's killing itself.
They
It's
need to make
hungry.
an app for your Apple Watch and then connect it, you know?
That would be crazy. Um, but yeah, so no, I've gotten a lot now that I work in the office at work. And when I'm done doing what I need to do, I can sit there and play my Switch. My Switch has definitely gotten more playtime. We've got Smash Brothers coming out fairly soon, which is another one I'm probably not going to get. I've never been a Smash Brothers fan. I typically try to avoid. Huh?
Most people most people want the Switch just for the Smash Bros.
No, I know. I typically try to avoid things that people are like, things that have a rabid fan base. I don't know. And if I'm gonna play a fighting game, I'm gonna play a fighting game.
Right.
Like, I'm gonna go play Mortal Kombat, or I'll play wrestling. Like, I don't
I
want to
had a lot
have.
of fun a couple weeks ago on I think it was Tekken? I'm not really sure. I don't know what it was, but I was kicking some fucking ass in that game.
Right.
I all kinds of weird characters. I was a raptor at one point. Like, it wasn't Killer Instinct, but it was. I think it was Tekken. It was on Xbox. I don't know what it was. I was at somebody's house, and they're just like, "Well, this is the only game I have that's 2-player." All right, so I mashed some buttons and kicked some fucking ass.
So hold on, I have to address the chat. Wrestling doesn't have a rabid fan base, not in the way that Smash Brothers does. Nintendo fanboys are the worst fanboys in the world, and that's coming from an Apple fanboy. Nintendo fanboys are the worst fanboys in the world, because you guys think that Nintendo can do no wrong. And I'm not talking about indie. It's kind of funny you say that, right? Because I do the Indie Case File show with Amy, and yeah, see, exactly. You fuckers are the worst. I mean, I've enjoyed indie games more, but I'm still very much AAA. I've got my 4K PlayStation, my 4K Xbox. Huh?
I said I wish there was a like button, like a heart next to these comments. You could like certain ones.
Yeah, you're you're too familiar with iMessage.
I know, derailing you. That's
No, it's
the way
okay. But so no, it's certainly not that it's indie, but like, I mean, I don't know if I play WoW, right? I play Diablo, I play Call of Duty. But if you tell me that you don't like those games, I'm gonna be like, all right. But if you tell a Nintendo fanboy that you don't like Smash Brothers, they're gonna tell you for an hour why the fuck you're wrong. And it's the same with Zelda, right? Like Breath of the Wild, which should have won most overrated game of the year last year, is just Skyrim Light with decent graphics, no fucking story, and really broken gameplay. Like the weapon system was fucking garbage. There was it was an exploration simulator is what it was. So many other games have done open world better. Witcher 3 did it better, and I'm not a fan of that either. Red Dead has done it better. Assassin's Creed Origins and Assassin's Creed Odyssey both did open world better.
I just started playing 3 too.
Fucking Skyrim did open world
I started
better.
a lot of games. Haven't played much of any of them.
But that's the issue with Nintendo, and I'm not knocking Nintendo. I like the Switch. It's a fun console. But you know what I have the most fun with the Nintendo Switch? Not fucking Nintendo games. It's a mobile indie game platform is what it is. That's what I play most on my Switch is indie games. Because they typically have bad graphics, they typically are very small in size, and they play portably very well. I'm not going to sit and play a pixelated game on my 4K TV when I have other games to play, but playing it on the go, it's a perfect place for it. But yeah, I don't know, to Nintendo fanboy, and again, I'm not, it's pot kettle, I get it, because I am an Apple fanboy, and Apple can do no wrong. But, and you guys change your story, we change our story, like, for years we were like, yes, Apple uses Lightning because Lightning is the superior cord cable connector type. And then suddenly Apple switches the new iPad.
So that they can sell you fucking dongles for everything.
Well, no. And then suddenly Apple switches the new iPad to USB-C. And now 5 years later, Apple fans love USB-C.
Yeah, that's what I meant was USB-C. Oh, that must be nice.
What's that?
The vaping.
Oh yeah, I forget you can't.
No, it's terrible.
Well, you should get one of those ones that hardly has any vapor.
I know it.
Or you should reattach your balls and vape. Don't you pay to fucking live there?
Yeah, I'm a broken man.
Yeah,
What can I
see,
tell you?
Corey says it perfect. Pokemon on a handheld, an RPG on TV. That works. I could that I mean that's a good sense. It depends on the RPG, right? So, I mean, shooters on phones shooters on phones I don't get. Now, shooters on mobile, like on tablets, if you can give me a Bluetooth controller, that wouldn't be too bad.
Yeah, it might be all
Christ.
right. But I don't game on mobile devices at all. So I barely game. I don't have time.
Speaking
But if
of
I was going to game, I wouldn't game on a phone.
speaking of gaming on mobile devices, there is something that
I wondered if
happened
you were going to get to that.
that we have to talk about. So Blizzard, Blizzard, fucking Blizzard, Blizzard, and this is old news. We're beating a dead horse, but we haven't done a show since May, so humor us. Blizzard in November had BlizzCon. Now they told us. Now let me everybody. If either you don't care about what I'm going to talk about right now, or you already know what I'm going to talk about right now. There is no in between.
And you still don't care.
Right. However, I am not outraged by this like everybody else in the fucking world. Because again, Blizzard fanboy. But they told us 3 weeks before BlizzCon that we were not getting a Diablo 4 announcement. They put out a press release. They said we know. They didn't say specifically Diablo 4, but they said we know what you want. It's not ready. We have some
We know what
things.
you want. You're not going to get it.
We have some things to announce, but what you want is not ready. But we have stuff for you, so just wait. And that was 2 or 3 weeks before BlizzCon. So that being said, if you went to BlizzCon, or if you watched the virtual ticket, or if you watched a pirated stream like I did because I wasn't paying $50 for BlizzCon this year, and you expected Diablo 4, that is your own fucking fault. Because they fucking told you you're not getting Diablo 4 announcements this year. That being said, we go in, we get more talk about Vanilla WoW, whatever, I don't give a shit. We get talk about StarCraft 2 stuff. I don't give a shit. We get talk about a Hearthstone expansion pack. Well, you know what? Hearthstone looks really cool in the new iPad, so maybe I care. We get talk about Warcraft 3, the remaster, Warcraft 3 Reforged. It looks fucking beautiful. I'm tired of remasters.
It looks great. I'm not going to play.
Yeah.
I'm tired of RTS. So
I mean, it is my favorite WoW story. I have a fucking Frostmourne tattoo, as everybody knows. I love the Arthas storyline. That is what made me fall in. Like, I loved the original Warcraft in '94, and I loved Warcraft 2 in the late '90s, '96, whatever. But the Arthas storyline and the fall of the Boy King and the rise of the Lich King is what made me fall in love with Azeroth. And I don't care.
I probably should play that game just to have that story because
You
I've played WoW, right?
Right.
And I've played Warcraft. But when I played Warcraft, I couldn't have cared less about the story. I just played the game.
Everything
I should probably
everything that happens in Warcraft 3 is what got the ball rolling for World of Warcraft.
I've never played Warcraft 3. The last game I played, it may have been 2. It was whatever Raul had. He had it for PlayStation 1 or 2. And I played it while he was at work one day.
Probably
That was it.
PlayStation 1, and it would have been Warcraft 2.
Yeah, probably. And again, like, skip all of the scenes and just play the game.
Right. Yeah, no, 3, if you've never touched it, and you get a pretty cool meat grinder mount in WoW.
Yeah.
And it's, so anyway, back to my point, right? So then, after all this, right, we got an Overwatch announcement, right? I have not given a fuck about Overwatch in a long time at all.
Nice to hear you say it out loud.
I haven't. I haven't. I don't care. There are better shooters out there. It has a fan base, and that's awesome. It's doing great on the pro scene, and that's awesome. Bob Kraft owns a team, so Boston Uprising, awesome. I don't care at all. However, on the tail or the coattail of Red Dead Redemption, at BlizzCon, they do a Western-themed cinematic for Overwatch. It is with McCree. And yes, that being said, be sure to check out the Overcast with Amy Frost and JF Dubow. Overcastpodcast.com.
But watch the Overcast.
But anyway, So on the coattails of Red Dead Redemption 2, they release a Western-themed cinematic short with McCree, who has been in the game since its inception. So you've got McCree, and then the new hero to come to Overwatch, whose name I can't remember, but she is a badass cowboy girl, cowgirl, cow chick. I don't know. I don't know what to say anymore. Cow person. Is she a Tauren? She's a Tauren. She's a cow person. Ash, thank you. Oh yeah, that's right. They named her after the Ash from League of Legends because everything is incestuous now. So anyway, and she is badass. She's a Western chick. She runs around with like a pump action rifle and looks awesome. So that got me excited for Overwatch for the first time in a while. But anyway, so after all this, Diablo comes on screen. And the guy that talks to you about Diablo comes out on stage. And he talks about some things here and there. And then he announces Diablo Immortal. Now, again, it's a good thing for Diablo, right? Because it opens Diablo up to a new audience, right? It's not a bad thing. It is in no way a bad thing. And here's why I say that. And you can argue me that if you want. If you are a new listener and still listening to the podcast, if you want to argue with me about this or talk to me about this, tweet at me, email me, whatever. If you're in chat, speak up. There are 3 different teams working on Diablo right now. You have the team that is developing Diablo Immortal, which isn't even fucking in-house because Blizzard's never made a legit mobile game. They made Hearthstone, which is just a mirror image of what it is on PC. So they've never made a legit mobile game. So they did the smart thing and they went third party. So they licensed it out to a company that has already a stable, solid mobile game and said, look, make Diablo for us. And they did, and it looks awesome. Everyone complained about Blizzard outsourcing Diablo, forgetting that Diablo wasn't originally a Blizzard title. When Blizzard North made Diablo 1 in 1996, it wasn't a Blizzard title. It was made by another company. Now, I have all those little factoids. I don't remember the name of that company, but they bought that company and named it Blizzard North. It was not a Blizzard game. Diablo was not a Blizzard property. So Diablo started off as a third-party game. The first expansion pack for Diablo, Hellfire, after Blizzard bought this company that became Blizzard North, Hellfire, the first expansion pack came out for Diablo, also was not made by Blizzard. It was made by Sierra. The Leisure Suit Larry guys. It was made by them. So Diablo, in its inception, was not a fucking Blizzard game. So don't complain about other companies making it. That's how it started. So anyway, so you have that team, right? And they're making that. Now, we talked about Diablo 4 briefly. It's a separate fucking team. So because there's a third-party company, probably in China, making Diablo Immortal, Diablo 4 remains untouched. It's still being worked on by people in-house at Blizzard. They're hiring for it. If you think you can fucking do it, I like to call them Blizz Division or Actilizard. You can apply to work on.
Else feel like Nate is preaching right now? And I say that in the best way. I mean, it's enthralling to listen to you go. You're literally preaching hellfire and brimstone, only it pertains to video games. If only you were a man of God, right? I mean, I'm on this podcast and I'm like, fuck, this guy should be a solo mic show. I don't even need to be here. Can I get a hallelujah? Fuck.
Okay,
Praise
I'll wrap it up quick. So anyway, so Diablo 4.
No. Don't wrap it up.
Dude, I've had 6 months.
My dick is throbbing. By all means. By all means.
Okay, so Diablo Diablo 4 remains untouched because of Diablo Immortal. It's a completely separate dev team. On top of that, Diablo 3 is getting an awesome new patch coming out probably in the next month or two for Season 16. We're getting the Season of Grandeur. So everyone gets a Ring of Royal Grandeur. They redid and reworked every single set for every single class. So Diablo 3 is still getting worked on. On top of that, we are getting a new patch and a ladder reset for fucking Diablo 2. So we're getting Immortal. 2 is getting content. 3 is getting content. And 4 is being worked on. The fuck are people complaining about? Literally every fucking facet of Diablo has somebody working on it.
We live in a world of instant gratification. Nobody wants to wait for that. And in the meantime, they definitely don't want Immortal. I'm indifferent. I don't give a fuck.
But Immortal's free. You don't need to play it. Don't fucking play it if you don't want it.
I don't want it.
I'm going to play it because it will look awesome.
Are you going to play it with a Bluetooth controller?
I'm going to play it with a Bluetooth controller on the new iPad. You're fucking right, I am.
That only makes sense, you know? Is it a new story? Separate game? Or is it Diablo 3?
So they are trying some things with Immortal. And this is probably why Immortal came first. Because Diablo 3...
For Diablo 4?
Right. Diablo 3 took some risks. And I don't know if you remember, but Diablo 3 was fucking hated by everybody when it first came out.
Yangwei. Thank you.
Diablo 3 was not loved. Reaper of Souls saved Diablo 3.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
Because Diablo 3 was shit.
True.
Speak
the gospel, Nate. Speak it.
So yeah, no, you can do. I think it's like 10 or 12 player groups. And not even Error 44, man. I mean, Error 44, yeah. Hashtag never forget. But no, like the Real Money Auction House was a pile of shit. There was no end game. There was nothing. It was all bad. It was bad, fucking bad. Bad. No, but Reaper of Souls saved that game. But anyway, so Immortal is trying some things. It's like 10 or 12 player groups. There's a lot of different aspects. I haven't looked much into it. Now, let me finish up
No, I'm not stopping you.
No,
man.
let me finish up the month late BlizzCon catch up with this.
Are we still keeping this at an hour? Because you've got like 10 minutes.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say we're over, but you're like, well, it doesn't matter. It's the first one back. We can talk about more because we still got movies to talk about.
It's fine.
Fuck. Where was I? It's been too long.
You want to finish up this?
Yeah, right. So all of the rage about Immortal came from the internet. I have podcaster acquaintances / friends. I have Twitch streamers that I follow. Leviathan.
Did you Twitter fallout from that announcement?
Of course I did.
Oh my god!
It's still going on. Leviathan, who was a guest on Mind of a Geek and now is an official Blizzard streamer for Diablo 3. All of these people who wait for it, actually fucking played it at BlizzCon, all said it was a lot of fun. All said it felt like a legitimate Diablo experience, and all said that they can't wait for it to actually come out. Willie Dills from The Instance sent out a tweet about a week after BlizzCon saying, I'm sitting at an airport and all I can think about is how I wish I could play Diablo Immortal right now. Which, of course, caused backlash. I don't know, man. People are just so quick to judge and jump. Mobile gaming is $1 billion industry. Look how much money fucking Candy Crush makes. They're dumb not to go there. They're dumb. Diablo needed sustainable income. With
Diablo doesn't live in a world of microtransactions, though.
With World of Warcraft, you have your subscription fee, you have your cosmetic items, you have other things, whatever. With Heroes of the Storm, you have loot boxes. With That guy on stage during the are you talking about the fan that was the complete fucking douche whistle, or did you hear about? We can talk about that really quick. They were doing like the Diablo Q&A after the main stage, and some fucking douchebag stood up and goes, "Is this some kind of like out of season April Fool's joke?"
Really?
Fuck. Oh yeah, they should have kicked him out of fucking BlizzCon. But anyway,
They did.
but yeah, so StarCraft 2 has its esports that brings in money still. Overwatch has esports that brings in money, and they have loot boxes. Heroes of the Storm kind of has esports and loot boxes. Hearthstone obviously has card packs and esports. Every single one of their games has sustainable income other than Diablo. If Diablo 4, again, people, like it or not, it's Active Blizzard. So they have shareholders. They need to answer to them. Regardless of how many gamers want to deny it, making video games is a business. A video game is a product. That product needs to make money, or as Tim Cook would say, it's a product, and that product needs to make money. It does. It needs to be sustainable, or shareholders are going to have a fucking riot. Diablo was not financially stable. You get all this content, all these patches, all this seasonal stuff. Even if it's brief, minor changes, it's still new things with zero income, unless somebody new bought the game. But it's a one-time buy. They needed to make Diablo sustainable. Making Diablo a mobile game, or a version of Diablo, a mobile game that has microtransactions, gives it sustainable income. Because it might not be for the Diablo fan. It might not be for the PC Diablo player. It might not be for traditional Diablo players. But the mobile gaming market is there. Loot boxes aren't going to get outlawed. They're the dumbest fucking thing in the world. That's the dumbest thing in the world. If you're going to outlaw loot boxes, you have to outlaw Magic cards. And you have to outlaw Yu-Gi-Oh cards. And you have to outlaw Pokemon cards. And you have to outlaw blind boxes. All those things that my daughter's obsessed with, when you go and buy a blind box and you get the same fucking one 10 times in a row.
Over and over and over. I like that idea though, Corey. Don't be an F nozzle. Fuck nozzle? What the fuck is a fuck nozzle?
Right. But it's dumb that they're outlawed in 2 countries. It's not gambling. And the fact that people call loot boxes gambling is, and because we haven't podcasted since May, this whole podcast has been like old shit. So whatever.
Yeah, but it's so worth it to hear you fucking preach.
It's dumb though, because it's not fucking gambling. You're paying X amount of dollars and getting something in return. There's no gamble. It's all digital shit. It all has the same intrinsic value. Nothing, because it's digital shit. You are knowingly buying digital shit. There's no gamble at all whatsoever. Again, go buy a pack of Magic cards. It's the same thing as buying a fucking loot box. It's the same thing. No, you are. No. There's no maybe getting something in return. I promise you, I bet my fucking dick that there is no game in this world where you buy a loot box and you open that loot box and it goes, oh, you're fucked. You get nothing. No, you always get something. Even if you get something that's only worth like 3 copper in game, you still get something. There is no maybe you get something in return. It is not a scratch ticket. You don't buy it and go, oh, I won shit. Fuck. There is nothing. There is literally no loot box that gives you nothing. It is not a thing. You get something. Nate's dick, the loot box where nobody wins. A shit fuck pulpit.
I wouldn't say any of that. Yes, you get loot boxes and you always get something. Destroy it, craft it. That's what I do. In Gears 4. The only place I get boxes I don't care about.
Magic, not the same. Magic cards have physical value and can be sold for a ton of money if you get the right ones. Okay, so make stuff you get from loot boxes tradable. Sorry, they tried that with the real money auction house. It doesn't work.
If you get the right ones, isn't that how loot boxes work too, though? You're gonna get a lot of the same old shit and randomly, maybe now and then get what you want.
And it's hardly worth it. I mean, Amy,
Not the same principle.
if Amy is still in chat, like Amy can probably be a good barometer for this, uh, because she works at a card shop. And there are people that whenever a new set drops, they will go in there and spend hundreds of dollars. There are people who spend thousands of dollars on boxes when a new set drops. And I mean, Amy, she mentioned she might be passing out, but she might still be there. But there's no way that if you buy a box of cards, you're getting your value out of the cards. Like you're still at a loss.
I like that, Corey. A pyramid scheme. That's great.
Spatula, in some games you can. So actually, Heroes of the Storm is a good example of that, Spatula. With Heroes of the Storm, you can get loot boxes, or there's another currency that you only earn in game. You cannot buy it. It's only earnable by playing. And you can use that currency to buy specific skins, or you can buy loot boxes and get a chance at that skin. So that kind of has that. That's that reseller mentality. But I mean, what about Hearthstone? Hearthstone, I mean, though the card packs are essentially loot boxes. I mean, no one bitches about Hearthstone. I don't get it. And I don't know. Whatever. This can go on for hours. Let's drop games for a second. So you brought up about an hour ago, Detective Pikachu.
Overlord.
Oh, you brought Overlord up too. So who's in that?
I'm sorry?
Who's in that?
A bunch of no-name actors. There's really no one of merit. The main villain is from Game of Thrones. He plays the uncle of Reek, whose name I can't remember, from the Iron Islands. But that's it.
Yeah,
I mean, it's basically a bunch of no-names, and typically I think that makes a movie like that better. I mean, a lot of times you get a big name actor in a movie like that and it takes you out of the action. This movie with a bunch of new people that you don't really know really allows for immersion. But on to movies. What else?
Well, I think Spatula is excited for Detective Pikachu.
Shit. Yeah, I guess so.
So, I put a post up the day after the trailer came out, and I said, I hate everything about this, including the fact that I think it looks great.
Yeah, I remember that and being like, what if...
I know you can't understand me, but if you don't stop pointing that thing at me, I will electrocute you. If it was anybody but Ryan Reynolds, nobody would give a shit.
I was just going to say that only works because it's Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah. And
I haven't seen Venom. Did you see Venom?
I didn't. I have you seen the ratings on Venom?
Yes, I have.
Horrible.
But I've also seen the box office. So,
is the box office crazy?
Yeah. Has it ever motivated me to see a movie? No.
No. Venom's box office is cray cray. I didn't look at it. I saw the ratings, and I mean, anyone that has been listening to our shows for the past year knows that I'm getting severely burnt out on comic book movies. So
you would know that I've argued that fact until recently. I think I'm finally getting burnt out on it too. About the time of Ant-Man and the Wasp. The first Marvel movie I didn't bother to catch in the theater.
I haven't even seen it yet, which is surprising because I loved Ant-Man.
Yeah. No, I don't care. I think Infinity War was the culmination for me. Part 1, not the part 2 that hasn't been released yet, but part 1.
And even that, I didn't see in the theater. I just bought it on iTunes.
I saw it in the theater twice, and then I think I reached the point where I still love all that stuff, don't get me wrong, but and I never thought I'd see the day, but I don't care. I care, but I don't have the time to care like I would have.
I think I've reached the point where I don't want half a fucking movie. Because that's all that is. It's half of a fucking movie.
Yeah, it's definitely was part 1.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I can't remember the runtime on that movie. I think it was quite long. I only watched it the 2 times I saw it in the theater, but
like I didn't hate it. I actually found it to be more fun, but I had a hard time enjoying it simply because the whole time watching it, I knew I'm like, nothing is going to get resolved in these 2.5 hours.
Right.
And obviously I knew, holy fuck, Venom's
Yeah,
almost at 900 million worldwide.
yeah.
That's ridiculous.
It's blind viewership.
You know what it is? It's Tom Hardy.
That too.
Yeah, it's
You want
Tom
to see a
Hardy.
really good Tom Hardy performance? Watch fucking Peaky Blinders, man.
Yep.
That
Oh,
show is so fucking good.
watch anything really. I mean, Mad Max.
Yeah.
He
Have you
was.
seen Peaky Blinders? I've done a lot of
I
watching in my time away from this.
I've done a lot of streaming stuff, but I have not seen Peaky Blinders. But there's a lot of stuff that I could leave to Sony not giving Marvel more Spidey. That's fine. I'm okay with that. Oh Christ, we have that to talk about too. Fucking Spider-Man, the greatest superhero game in years.
Yeah, I didn't play any of it.
So fucking good.
Really short, right?
I wouldn't say really short. It's your typical open world game. You got about a 6 to 8 to 10 hour story, and then a whole bunch of shit all around the city to discover.
Mm.
I believe all the DLC is out for it now. 2 of the DLCs are out for it now. The third one's coming out soon. But it's a lot of fun. It takes like all the combat elements of the Batman games, and then all the web slinging elements of the Spider-Man 2 for PS2. And refines them for a modern game, puts it in a beautiful 4K HDR setting, and gives you a fun Spider-Man game. The story is fun. You've got Doc Ock, but you've got like Dr. Octavius turning into Doc Ock, which is really cool. No Hobgoblin or Green Goblin yet, but there's a huge fucking tease at the end for both. You've got who is it? Mr. Negative and Doc Ock are the key villains. You get a touch of Rhino and Vulture and Electro, so it's a lot of fun. You get Mary Jane. You get you get Miles Morales,
Really?
who just gets his powers at the end of the game. They
Wow.
definitely set up for a sequel.
Oh, I'm sure they'll
So
sequelize it with Into the Spider-Verse and give you fucking everything.
yeah, no, I'm excited for it. But yeah, so back to movies. No, like I said, I don't know. The whole time watching it, I was like, yeah, like I said, this isn't gonna resolve itself, and I just yeah, I don't know. Um, I don't even know what's coming out. Like
I don't know what's coming out.
I
The
don't.
only thing I've seen recently was the one I mentioned before, and Fantastic Beasts: Crimes of Grindelwald, which the theater I saw it in, I couldn't hear the audio, and the screen was super dark, so it just seemed like this. Maybe I'm gonna pronounce it wrong. Cacophony, cacophony. I don't know.
Cacophony.
Just this fucking din of noise that I couldn't hear, and it didn't make any sense. So I went to
The
sleep,
last
slept through the majority of that movie.
the last movie I saw in the theater, I took Lizzie and Xavier to go see Incredibles 2.
And I'm sure that was the best movie of the year.
Now, I never seen Incredibles 1. Uh,
Fantastic Four
I
movie
don't
everybody wanted.
I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Toy Story is the best Pixar movie, and we're getting Toy Story 4. I'm so excited. Um, but I saw Incredibles 2, and the kids loved it, and I will not take anything away from the fact that the kids loved it. And I left wondering why everyone was so excited about Incredibles, because that's exactly it. It's Fantastic Four. I've never seen Big Hero 6. It looks ridiculous. Um, but no, Pixar has my heart with Toy Story, man. You've got a friend in me still gives me goosebumps. I love Toy Story, and I'm excited for 4. But no, what else is happening? We got a trailer. We got the first trailer for the live action Lion King movie. I haven't seen it. I don't care. I am now after years and years and years of saying fuck off, let them make movies. I am gonna say stay away from my childhood. I don't want a live action Lion King movie.
So I went to a Christmas party tonight before this, and the person's house I was at, I went into the inevitable room where all the coats end up. And along the ridge of the ceiling is a shelf that wraps around the room, and it has all of the old school Disney VHS. You remember the really thick packaging?
Yeah, it was like the egg crates. Like it was
Yeah,
thick
yeah,
and like it
yeah.
took like a fucking vice grip to get the VHS out of the yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it was such a nostalgic moment for me to see all of that because I haven't seen a VHS tape in fucking years. And to see all of that Disney lined up like that, and it's unique packaging. And I was like, oh man,
That's cool. I mean, I wouldn't waste space on it, but I can
nor would
respect.
I.
But I can
But yes,
in
I agree.
in a digital world, no. Digital is too well. No, but it's still live action though. Um, it's not animated. It looks. It's not. I mean, it's going to be live action in the same way that Jungle Book was live action, right? Like obviously the animals are all CGI. I guess Lion King is all animals, but
They do not think that those last two comments are like internet outrage, the quintessential
well,
internet
yeah. I
outrage.
mean, they're
Like, and I love that we've been away for so long, and yet our old normal regulars are back.
it's
But
like we
like,
never left.
really,
It's like
live action quotation marks and CGI, no fucking shit. What? Why do we need to split hairs like that? I know that.
there's a lot of actors in the Lion King. It's not going to be all roaring and growling. Voice
Hey man,
actors are actors.
it's the bare necessities of life. Come on.
It's the bare necessities. It's the only words I know. What did I miss? Talk about destiny. Awesome.
I think now that JF is back and it's 90 minutes in, we should end it. Just a fucking
We should bring him in and make it 900 minutes.
no.
But anyway, so
I'm not in the room now. I have no problem doing the old fucking Scott Johnson goodbye. Click.
so let's The Incredibles. I hate all of you. Okay, so let's go from TV to move or from movies to TV. I watched finally.
I think Netflix is having Marvel fatigue too. They canceled all their Marvel.
No, I
shows.
think Disney's. I
Also
they canceled them. I think Disney's pulling them for their streaming service.
Yeah, that's what's gonna happen.
And what at 90 minutes? The
JF, you really missed some great preaching.
he
If
missed
only
me.
Nate had
He missed
it.
me preaching about Diablo. I don't think he cares.
It doesn't matter what you preached about; it's how you preached about it. The timing was great. The build to climax and crescendo.
Am I an evangelical atheist about Diablo?
No, it was good, man. You didn't even know you were doing it.
Or
maybe you stand in front of a mirror and do that and whack off. I don't know.
I like the soapbox, but anyway, no. So I finally watched The Man in the High Castle.
I haven't yet. Good,
dude.
So good.
So good. Okay, so I have
so good was Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Super good.
I don't even know what to say. No.
The Haunting of
No,
Hill
again,
House,
don't fuck with my childhood. Sabrina is Melissa Joan Hart.
Also good. No, fuck Melissa Joan Hart, man. She can be Clarissa. This last Sabrina from Netflix, amazing. You should watch it. Super good.
All right, I'll check it out. Anyway, so yeah, Man in the High Castle, watch it. It's so good. Okay, so
that's the story of what happens if Hitler won, right?
Oh yes, but so much more. Okay, so were you familiar that Man in the High Castle was a book?
Yes.
Were you familiar that it was done by Philip K. Dick?
Yes.
So are you familiar with what Philip K. Dick does to his stories?
I'm familiar with whatever I have behind me on the bookshelf that's hidden by a gun rack that you can't see.
Okay, so obviously Minority Report, Blade Runner, like they're not, they aren't all that they seem. It is.
I actually don't know what I have for Philip K. Dick back there. Continue.
So, does anybody, including Brandon, care if I spoil the first season of Man in the High Castle, which came out like did you say no?
No, I don't care.
Okay, which came out. It was like 2 years ago now. It's on season 3, so 2-3 years ago. So, the beginning of Man in the High Castle from the first episode. Do you have the book?
No, all I have in the library is Electric Dreams.
Okay, which is Blade Runner, right?
It's short stories.
Oh, okay. Blade Runner's in there.
Oh,
there's that too. Is it something about sheep and dreams and?
I don't think Blade Runner's in this one. It's not.
Oh, okay. But anyway, so the up to like the last 4 minutes of season 1 of Man in the High Castle, yes. What it is is an alternate universe where the Nazis and Japan won the war. They dropped a bomb on Washington, D.C., and do androids dream of electric sleep? There we go. Or electric sheep. Sleep. Uh, they dropped the bomb on Washington. They won. So the whole eastern 2/3 of the country are the GNR, the Greater Nazi Reich. The West Coast is the Pacific States, and they still hate each other. Hitler made the Japanese honorary Aryans, so like they're in peace.
They're honorary Aryans, really?
Oh yeah, like that phrase is actually spoken in the show.
Wow.
Um, so and then there's a neutral zone, right? And then there's a resistance because whenever there's Nazis, there's a resistance, right? Because we have to be somewhat cliche here. Uh, and there's the man in the high castle, who originally you are told that he makes these videos or these films because they're not videos. It's 1960 something. They're films. They're unreal. They're reel to reel films, and what they are, like, to pull the curtain back, what they are is it's actual World War II footage. It's the soldiers raising the flag. It's knocking down all the German buildings, all the Nazi German buildings in Germany after we won the war, and it's all actual footage from our World War II that they use in these reel to reel films. And it is presumed that the man in the high castle is making these films to empower the resistance and show everybody what could have been. So the Nazis it's basically a death sentence if you're caught with one of these films. Well, what we find out is that there are people called travelers. And these people that are travelers can travel to different worlds. And they are in an alternate universe. Whereas we are also in an alternate universe in our actual timeline. So we won the war and everything else like that. And there are main characters that can travel back and forth. These films are films that the man in the high castle is collecting to get hints to try and end the regime in their timeline. But people can go back and forth, and it's crazy. You get to see old man Hitler.
As soon as you said parallel universes, you sold me on that show.
Yeah.
I'm super into it.
It's so fucking good. But again, none of that comes into play until the end of season 1, and then it's all about that.
Right. There's a Philip K. Dick story that I so want in novel form and have not been able to find. I cannot. Radio Free. What? Abelmouth? Abelmouth?
I have no idea.
Anybody know? Someone will know. Anyway, continue.
But that's about it. I can't go on further without spoiling it more. It gets into very, very Wolfenstein after that. Very like Nazis having sci-fi crazy technology and trying to build machines to open paths to these alternate universes so they can send soldiers through and take over all of the universes. It's pretty cool. But anyway, so that's really good. Season 3 ends with an incredible cliffhanger, and I'm excited for season 4. There's a Nazi in the show, John Smith. He starts out as the Obergruppenführer and then becomes the Obergruppenführer. And now he's the Vice Marshal of the U.S., which in the Germany-controlled U.S. is the highest position of military you can hold in the U.S. He is a really good character. The actor plays him really well, and he's conflicted. I can't tell you why he's conflicted without spoiling a big part of season 2. But he was an American born. He was a U.S. soldier when the Nazis won the war, and he turned. So he was not raised a German Nazi. So he has a family, and his walls start to break down into season 2 and season 3, and he becomes a very in-depth character. And amazingly, the writers of this show, they have written a Nazi that you can feel bad for. And he's an incredible character. But anyway, so Watchman in the High Castle. Other than that, I watched Goliath, which is a Billy Bob Thornton show on Amazon.
What's that?
I loved
That's
it.
another I've been meaning to watch.
It's really good. It's a procedural. He's an alcoholic lawyer. Uh, the second season was a little long in the tooth. I really liked the ending though, so I'm excited for season 3, which it has been renewed for season 3. Season 1 was great. And I am 3 episodes into season 1 of Bosch, which is another Amazon Prime exclusive, and it's a cop drama. And again, it's really good. But that's it on my end.
That's 96 minutes, give or take. So that's it on my end too, because now I need to go to sleep and I need to pee.
I feel bad. I feel like I took this episode over. You were like the I was the Conan and you were my what's his name?
I'm Andy, man. What is his name?
I was gonna say Andy Dick, but I know that's not right.
Oh, doesn't matter. It was worth it to listen to you preach.
Andy Richter. I wanted to say Sphincter, but I knew that wasn't right. But Sphincter got me close.
Just call me Andy Sphincter. I like
Andy
it.
Sphincter.
I'm
But
Andy
Sphincter got me close to Richter. So
Oh boy. All right, then.
and Richter got me close to Sphincter.
All right. Well,
so it is. So are we back? Is this going to be a Saturday night thing now?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
Seems like it is.
Was this like a hey, we're here, we're gone again?
Hey, fuck off. Well, I don't know. Unless one of us dies.
Right. All right. So Saturday nights at 9.
Now the question is, will we be back together or like this? Which one will it be consistently? Probably like this, but every now and then I imagine I'm going to end up over there because, it's fun.
Yeah, it depends on the weather, it depends on the day, it depends on tiredness.
Maybe Nate doesn't want me to come back.
No.
I don't know.
I mean, I'd have to shuffle things a little bit again. But although I did get the room set up for room scale VR again.
You did?
Yeah.
Very cool.
So
I am mildly interested in the Oculus Rift Go.
I would go with the Vive. The Vive has the same thing.
The only thing that did it for me was the commercial where the guy's like in bed with his girlfriend, but he's arguing with his buddy while they watch a movie. So I know you can do that with either one, but just the idea of that is hilarious to me.
Right. No, you know what I want? I want to see someone take off with augmented reality. I want something like Google Glass.
Yeah, AR is really where it's at. That's really what interests me more than VR, but I haven't seen anything.
I want AR. I want to be able to I mean, I don't know. Apple won't do it first because they aren't in the market of doing things first anymore.
Right.
But eventually, I want to have glasses on or have just like a little, not an implant, but maybe just something that sits like beside my eye, like a stick thing, something that gives me an AR screen in front of me.
Yeah, that I need an overlay.
Right.
A viable overlay.
Yeah. I mean, that would be
make a shitty version of it and then Apple to perfect it like they do everything else.
Right, exactly.
That's why they don't have it yet. They're waiting for someone to make that so they can be like, foundation. All right.
Right. But no, I would love, I want AR. I want, because think about how many moments, and I get the implications, right? And I get with Google Glass, it was a privacy thing, right? But yes, like Google Glass, I said that. Thanks for listening. Like Google Glass, and I get that there was a privacy thing, right? Because because with Google Glass you could blink and it would take a picture,
right.
Which obviously that's like awesome. A perv's nightmare, right?
Yeah.
But think about how cool it would be, like how many times biking or how many times nature walking or how many times doing whatever do you go, man, that would be awesome to get a picture of, but you don't get your phone out in time. Or think about it, wrestling. Think about like at wrestling to be able to like just blink and take a picture. Like that's fucking cool. Like, and that's cool tech. And unfortunately people suck. So we have to be very careful with that tech.
Right.
But I want that. Or like, I want to, I want to look at someone and if they have a public Facebook profile or if they have, if it's private and leave it private, let people have their privacy. But like, how cool would it be, right? I mean, we're both taken gentlemen, so it doesn't really matter to us. But say you're late teens, early 20s, say you're mid 20s, you're out of college, whatever your case may be, right? How cool would it be to have an augmented reality app that works kind of like Tinder, where you walk by somebody, it does the facial recognition with their permission, does the facial recognition, pulls up their dating app profile, and it gives you all the perks of having your face buried in the screen, but also allows you to, again, interact with reality.
It might be worth becoming single for if they can make it that way where it's like, I don't know, Sims where they have all that shit above their heads. You can
Yeah.
just look around and be like,
Or
all
like,
right, I can hit on her, but not her.
right,
Oh,
or it instantly tells you like, okay, like whatever, like AR book, not Facebook or whatever, but like, and within a moment, again, if the person allows it. So let's allow for privacy here, but if we're assuming the person has a public profile, it says, is that person single? Is that person straight? What if you are a recently discovered gay man or gay woman, and you're still kind of closeted? You don't know who to hit on, who not to hit on. So what if their dating profile says, oh, okay, he is gay, I can offer to buy him a drink, or she is gay, I can buy her a drink? Like, all of that would be awesome for everybody. It's just, we need to get to that point where not only is it awesome, but it's safe. I would love to be in the room that develops the first person
obfuscation.
I'm struggling with that word for some reason. Tech for people who just want to go on with their lives. China does that, actually. China has a social score.
That's reality.
Yeah.
Coming to a town near you.
China has a social score. But anyway, so, yeah, is that going to wrap it up for tonight?
Yeah, it is, but you know that we're back because it's going to take you 20 minutes to end the show.
It's not going to take me 20 minutes. I just want to check our Twitter handle really quick.
12 minutes. 15 minutes.
All Geek'd Up Pod. All right, cool. Yeah, so if you go to inkedgeekstudios.com right now, it's going to look like it looked 7 months ago.
But it's not going to look that way for long.
Hopefully.
In 9 months, we will have a new look.
So this show is back. It will occasionally have guests. We will invite people on. People can join the conversation. Again, we do it live on Twitch, Mixer, Periscope, and YouTube simultaneously. So whatever platform you like, go there. I am thinking about doing Facebook too. If people want me to do Facebook, I will, but the Restream service charges a premium to do it to Facebook as well. So
Facebook's over.
Huh?
Facebook is over.
Yeah, it's getting there. So anyway, yeah, so 9 o'clock Eastern time for this show. Indie Case Files will be coming back soon. I had to talk to Amy about that and see kind of where we are with that. We might wait till after the holidays. We'll see. But that'll be coming back soon. And then we will be talking to Corey off air about the resurrection of STFU. So those are the 3 shows coming back. All 3 will have new RSS feeds, so everything will be fresh on your podcatchers of choice. I probably will resurrect the mega feed. We will see. But yeah, I'm still today was just like, I messaged Brandon this morning and I'm like, show tonight? And he's like, oh yeah? So show tonight.
Yeah.
But so here we are. So a huge thank you to everyone who stopped in to the Twitch chat.
Yeah, a big thanks to you guys for sticking with us over all of that time away. It's nice to see a lot of the same friendly screen names in the chat. Captain Temerity, Beastmaster, as always.
Beatmaster. You of all people shouldn't mess that up.
No, I'm like, dude, listen to me. I'm 6 or 7 beers in. It's Beastmaster now, not Beatmaster. Beast.
Where can people get notices about what shows you have coming up, Nate and Brandon?
You can't. Just know that it's Saturday at 9 ish.
So
that's all you know.
I'm not gonna do like the mass cross promotion thing yet because the other shows aren't up yet and we have no set dates yet. But as far as this show, follow this show on Twitter at All Geek'd Up Pod. Yeah, you can follow me at xcynekx, XSYNEKX. You can also follow all of my streaming there too. I stream consistently just about every night. And I got a 4K capture card in my tower, so my PS4 and Xbox One X are both in nice 4K HDR. It's so nice.
It's funny that you say that about the weasels. I had an interaction with an ermine this morning. I'm not going to give you any more detail than that.
We can post show that. That's fine. We'll wrap
No,
up. But yeah, All Geeked Up Pod on Twitter, All Geeked Up on Facebook, and that's it. It's gonna just kind of be an off the cuff thing. If you are a new listener, like I mentioned at the top of the show, and if you have stuck around this long and like it, again, welcome. And thanks for listening. If you guys have show topic suggestions or comments on anything that we've talked about, you can tweet at us. Or I don't know the email, and I'm not going to waste time looking it up, so I'll have it for the next episode. But
nice.
yeah, just tweet at us. I mean, it's been so long since I've done anything. I deleted like 1,100 emails from the Inked Geek Studios email today.
Don't you love all those notifications?
It's great.
I don't. Hey, your fans miss you. Yeah, okay.
But yeah, inkedgeekstudios.com. And I think I just caught the end of this. You did. Alice in Junderland. There's probably going to be a post show, so hang out. But yeah, inkedgeekstudios.com, at All Geeked Up Pod on Twitter. And that will do it for episode 1 of the new All Geeked Up. So thank you, everyone who hung out live. Again, all of the friendly faces that we're so used to. Thanks for coming back. Brandon, dude, it's so nice to be behind the mics again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't
it's
hold
cool.
Don't hold anything back. Tell me how you really feel. It's weird. It is weird. It's weird not being in the same room.
I like being in the same room.
It is weird. But again,
I'm a little bit lonely. But at the same time, when I'm done, I can go 4 feet that way and go, I'm going to sleep. Instead of 22 miles or whatever.
Yeah, whatever it works out to be. So yeah, tune in next week for another
a more energetic episode.
Yeah, there's rust to break off. I soapbox. That's what I do. Brandon will take over more of the episode next week.
It's ring rust. You're gonna continue to soapbox. That's what you do, like you said.
Kind of is.
Everybody likes that. We all want to see that.
It kind of is.
I like having the front row seat. It's great.
There we go.
Preach, brother.
That being said, for Brandon, for myself, and for the rest of IG Studios, thank you all very much for listening, and we will talk to you guys next week.